Hey, this is Tyrone Martinson again, and as you might know, I'm preparing this week for an open mic night on next Monday on January 15th. And I have to take time to prepare because even though I had some drama classes in high school and I took some speech classes, even though I've been a teacher, it's way different to read my own work out loud. And maybe you know this if you're a writer and you're an author and you've had someone say to you, "So tell me what your book's about." And you're kind of like, it's a book. It's got characters and stuff happens. Yeah, and it's kind of in this one genre, but then it kind of crosses over to this other genre, and yeah. I don't know about you, but I've definitely had those definitely had those awkward like off off foot in the mouth type of moments when I'm talking about my writing. And so open mic night is a way for me to push past that and to share my work with other people and to do it in a public performance space, which often I don't even do any kind of like performance with my reading. I just read because trying to add a level of performance to it is like, whoa, that's that's another step, right? So I'm going to try to do a good job reading this time. I've definitely shown up to open mic nights before and just kind of fumbled through my readings. And thankfully, Creative Colloquy is a very supportive and kind type place. And so people have applauded me and been like, yay, snaps, even if I messed up. So I'm really thankful for their kindness and encouragement. But I am going to try to practice this time. And so I printed out my pages and I'm getting them ready. Uh, and I have to consider, do I want to share something about these pieces or do I just want to read them? So there's kind of, you could do both or either at open mic night. And it's always that question, do you just launch into the work or do you preface it or say something afterwards? I don't know. Again, it could be done either way. My poetry, I feel like, stands out by itself, and it's very much it's about nature and having peace with the wild. I might read that piece, or I might read a winter poem that I'm trying to work on right now. And then I have a nonfiction 101 words section that I'm going to read. It's also about peace with the wild, so there's definitely a theme there. And then the part of Nexus, chapter 14, Root and Wire from Nexus, the Rayatana book 2, is this place in the sci-fi novel in which the main character is hooked up to this machine that's supposed to basically test her integrity. She's going to be put in a simulation that everyone in the room can witness. And the reason it's called by Root and Wire is because the hookups to the machine don't only hook up to a machine, they also hook up to the roots of this tree that actually encompasses the entire planet. So the tree is a sentient being, and it's going to also watch this test of integrity. And anyway, so I had a lot of fun coming up with this idea. And anyway, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. And anyway, I hope if I read part of it, I hope it will make sense. That's kind of the difficulty of like pulling a chapter out of a novel. It's kind of like, will it make sense being read by itself? Should I change it so it makes more sense? Should I not share this at all? I'm definitely in that like waffling. I don't know which part I want to share. I thought I chose, but maybe I didn't choose because I really need to practice. And some of that practice is just warming my voice up. I know on the day of, I will definitely do a whole bunch of elocution exercises, basically tongue twisters and things like that really help me prepare myself to speak. Your basic, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, Sally sells seashells by the seashore, red leather, yellow leather. I never heard that one until I was in high school, and it's just repeating those two words, red leather, or 4 words, red leather, yellow leather. And for me, that's hard because I have a hard time with my R's. And so it kind of makes my tongue work in different ways. And it's really something I have to do before I do any public speaking. So I don't know if that helps anyone out there who is preparing to do any public speaking, but I have to tell you, even though I love to write and read, and I'd much rather like live in a world of text in some ways, I do think that public speaking is important to learn as a skill as a writer, because I know the writers that I admire a lot who teach classes at writing conferences. I'm always like, whoa, they're so cool. They write and they talk. It's amazing. So I want to be able to do that. I saw a gentleman whose name I'm going to completely forget. He's a really famous thriller author. He gave a class on giving a pitch at the oh, I'm going to forget the name of the conference, dude. This is great. It's a great video. I did prepare, really. It was at 20 Books Vegas. Thriller author. Again, the name is just slipping and I didn't write it down, so it's gone. Anyway, he took these various suggestions from the class on characters, dilemma, genre, and basic conflict, and he created this amazing pitch based on random stuff people gave him. It was like it was stunning. But he said he and his friends, they got together and they basically did stuff like that. They called it like their pitch game. They would quiz each other. They would pitch books that they already read by other people that they loved, and they'd kind of test their pitching ability based on that. And then they'd also take, random ideas and create pitches on that. And then they would pitch their books. And that's kind of the thing that he recommended doing. So that was an interesting thing. And I know I'm kind of crossing over into a different subject, but part of the reason I think it's important to speak publicly is so that we can give our pitches to people. When someone says, so what's your book about? You're kind of like, oh, and you just go right into it. And I'm not going to give a demonstration because I'm not that good at it yet. So anyhow, I hope that this helps someone out there. I hope that you are having a great week with writing, and I hope you're reading some good books and learning all sorts of things. I know I try to learn something a little bit every week about writing and marketing and this writing life. So thanks for hanging out with me.